On the 13th Wolfman, the people over at CBS and Paramount were nice to send over this movie from the 70s. It's a made-for-TV movie called Horror at 37,000 Feet. Dun, dun, dun! But yeah, this is your basic TV movie from the 70s, because it has... The people that are in it are more well known for being television stars than movie stars, even though a lot of them had made movies. You got Chuck Connors. You got the Shat himself, William Shatner. Paul Winfield, Tammy Grimes, Russell Johnson. The professor from Gilligan's Island plays one of the pilots of the plane. And basically what it is this guy and his wife are over in England, and her family has a ancestral home over there, and the husband is an architect and wants to bring back a piece of the abbey that was on her ancestral grounds, put it in their place. Well, little do they know that ancestral ground wasn't just an ancestral ground for the family, but it also housed evil. Yes, evil from below. But yeah. So moving the abbey are part of it. The altar and whatnot. You kind of bring the evil along. They crate it all up, put it on this late night flight back to America. It's like, I think they said in the movie, there's 10 people on the entire flight, not including the pilots. But so they get up in the air, and next thing you know, they've got the throttle on the plane, banging, wide open almost, and they're not going anywhere. According to the pilot, Chuck Connors, he's like, we've got to be hitting a nose wind at about 600 miles an hour. But he's like, that's impossible. There's no such wind. That they're basically stuck in suspended animation in the midair, but they're still burning fuel. They have to figure a way to stop the evil from killing them. And that's what this movie is all about. I really enjoyed this movie for what it was. It's kind of short. It's an hour and 14 minutes. So that kind of tells you what made-for-TV movies were like back in the 70s, You can see the spots, and I love this when I watch like TV shows from like the 70s and 80s and whatnot. You can see where it goes black for a second, and then it comes back. It's like that. Right there was a commercial. Yes, this is where the commercial break was. Instead of just running it all together as close as they can without the black edit, But I'm fine with that. I think it kind of has a little bit of a charm to it. Kind of like I'm back in the 1970s watching it without the commercials. It kind of feels good. They did a nice job on this. It's a good movie. It doesn't really have a whole lot of special features. Like I said, Russell Johnson was Chuck Connors, Buddy Ebsen, Tammy Grimes, William Shatner, and Paul Winfield. They're all right there. But not Russell Johnson. And I was surprised because all of a sudden the professor pops up as one of the pilots. I'm like, what? How come I didn't know about him from the cover, But actually he's right. He's right there. just not on the front. So here's what the disc looks like. So what would I give this? I'd give this was a fun movie to watch. I'd give this 3 chainsaws out of 4. I wish it was a little bit longer. I like the ending and how it ended, but I There are some little things I would have liked to have seen in this movie, even for being from the 1970s. I know that they could have done some stuff. I don't want to say anything because I don't want to ruin your interpretation of the movie. With that, I'll leave it at this. 3 chainsaws out of 4. I'm the 13th Wolfman. I'm on the prowl.